The Morgan Report with David Morgan.
Welcome, everyone. This is David Morgan of themorganreport.com, and this is the weekly perspective for the week ending the second week of October, or maybe first week of October 2021. I don't even know the date. Was it the 8th, I think, or 9th? 8th. All right, I'm going to be a little bit different because last week we had the first live event. It was a silver-only event called the Silver Symposium in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and Rob Goodman was the person that put this together with a lot of help. I have to shout out to Shauna Hillman. I know she never likes to take a bow, so I'll take a bow for her. Rob, I'm on the landing page here, and I'm just going to scroll down a little bit and talk about some of the people that were there. Jeff Clark did a really good presentation on the upcoming boom in silver. Of course, the Economic Ninja was the MC. One of our teammates at the Morgan Report, David Smith. But before we go into kind of what it was about, and I want to make this somewhat of a short video, can you talk about some of the companies there? I thought you had an extremely good turnout for companies that came to help sponsor the Silver Symposium.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, David, and big shout out to you and your team. You and David Smith were absolutely fantastic. I appreciate the support there. Yeah, the companies were great. I think it proved that we need to get back together again, face to face. A lot of them came out, a lot of them didn't. We decided to video record it just in case. We'll be releasing the show 2.0. But yeah, I guess just to kind of go alphabetically down to the supporting companies, there's quite a list. Start with right at the top there, Alianza Minerals was there, Jason Weber, American Pacific Mining, you know them very well. Avino Silver made it, Benchmark Metals, Blackjack Silver, an interesting one that's not public yet, on the edge of thinking if they might want to or not. Maybe you might want to talk to him, David, and advise them to not or to go forward. BlackRock Silver was there, big presence there. Bunker Hill, we're restarting that facility up around here in Coeur d'Alene. Eagle Plains, First Majestic, Guanajuato Silver. A shout out to James Anderson, along with you, David. He was really probably the guy who said, if you get something like this going, I'll be there and I'll get some of my buddies. So we should probably have a commemorative drink on that at some point. Hecla, of course, was there right here. Idaho Champion Gold Mines, Jonathan Buick down in southern Idaho. Klondike Gold, Peter Tallman couldn't quite make it. He's a part of our reality show, Hunting Hidden Treasures, but he was there. He bought some lunches and we showed our show. So appreciate that. Kootenai Silver, Jim McDonald was there. Kuya Silver, up in the fine company there. Lakewood Exploration, New Jersey Mining right here. John Swallow and company. New Pacific Metals came in. I think your recommendation, David, they came in a little late there. Orex was here. Peruvian Metals, Reina Silver, Rio Silver, Rockmaster Resources, Sierra Madre Gold and Silver. Silver Valley Metals right here. I was there. Silver Viper, Silver Wolf, a tribute to the late Lou Wolf and David Wolfen's company there. SWP came, and I feel bad. Mark got held up at the border, couldn't even make the show. But he did a little sponsorship. Tier 1 Silver, they were a big player here. Timberline Resources, Vizsla Silver, Vox Royalty, and rounding it out with that Zacatecas Silver. So yeah, pretty fine list. There were more that didn't quite get here and wanted to and said next year they would. So I expect this to have 50, 60 companies next year and really be quite an event. So I'm very excited and appreciate all those companies.
Well, at the risk of sounding self-serving, and in a way this is, but the feedback I got, and I wasn't searching for it, was just random people coming up and talking with me for a few minutes or so. It's very positive. I had one gentleman that came up. He said he was one of the first people at the Silver Summit, the original series of in-person silver-only conferences. Actually, I think I ended up giving him one of my silver rounds just as a token of appreciation.
Yeah, we've got that on video. It was a good moment. Yeah.
What was your feedback. I'm sure you got some criticism. Let's go there. Let's just be real open. I'm sure
Yeah.
I can improve. I like constructive criticism. I don't like a lot of swear words and then give me the criticism. I rather have it like you did good and you could do better, and here's how you can make it better. I like that kind of constructive criticism. So what did you take away that you might want to do a little differently, a little better, or improve, or put more time on or less time on?
Yeah, number one, I don't want there to be a pandemic going on that screwed with the border. The border was an absolute problem. When we first set the show, I told these miners, I said, if the border's closed by the time the show's here, we've got bigger problems than just not being able to make it here. That's for another time to talk about, but that was a problem. So I think the attendance suffered a little bit. I went into it with the idea that it could. And there was a lot of, as you know, Idaho was really one of the hot spots in the absolute nation. Wall Street Journal, beds full, the hype was here. So it was, it was a balancing act. The hospital actually was not very happy with us. They turned away our sanitizer order. So I think that aspect, at least we recorded the show. So, but I think the people that were here, what I was hearing is a lot from the companies too, is they were very engaging, and that was a good sign. We had some innovative things. Booth crawl bingo was one of them, where we gave some silver away, got people in the booths to ask some questions, and these companies rewarded them, and a lot of people took away some silver. So I think that was something to build on. Of course, the flow of the show, how it went, some of the, not getting best, some of the logistics and all that, our problem. But yeah, I have a big list how to improve it. But I think the medals could really fix this themselves. And again, that's why people talk to you, because I think you're pretty bullish on all this as well. So we're here in the Silver Valley, or right on the edge of it, certainly the Coeur d'Alene mining district. So this show belongs here no matter what. So I think the vibe was right. Again, just maybe attendance, maybe educating people a little more on silver. We want to get that crowd a little younger. I did see some of that. So we had people all over the place traveling here. So that was a good takeaway. A lot of Midwestern Ohio, Michigan, Florida, all over the place. So from that aspect, I was happy. But we could always improve on, speaking times, clashing, things of that nature. But man, what a nice lineup of you and your colleagues. That was top notch. And we even got a little drama out of it, with you were right there with the old Robert Keens and Jeff Christian having a little fun, and as far as I know, that wasn't scripted, so you can.
No, I was not scripted. Oh.
Yeah,
All
but
right,
yeah,
well,
so I give us high marks for doing it, into flying a kite into a hurricane. But yeah, I think everybody took away a positive vibe, and we'll put it on better next year. And we'll have more events, more mine tours. That was a real popular thing. Lakewood Exploration got Robert Keens up to Strand. Bunker Hill did something. So yeah, we'll build on that and make this really, I think, a nice jump point, maybe to have people do their project visits and all that around here. And if you're right on the metals, we're going to have a pretty vibrant, atmosphere next year. So hope that answered your question in long form.
It did. You did a great job. So where can we go to see the replay or the videos? Or is it the entire conference, or just segments, or what's the story?
Yeah, we're going to, we've been putting it together. We've released a couple things. We had your intro. We'll probably get busy on that. I think we've got a holiday Monday. We've got Columbus Day here and Thanksgiving up north. So probably Tuesday, you'll start to see this out. The show will be in its entirety when it's done, but we'll release it in segments right now. There's a lot of video to run through, as you can imagine. So we'll just keep feeding it out there and letting everyone who couldn't make it be able to see it. And again, some fantastic content. I mean, and FYI note, folks, it will not be free next year to attend this. We did it this year. We wanted to make sure we got as many as we could, but traditionally, as you know, in years past, it was around a silver to get in. And so I guess the question to you is, what are they going to pay next year to get in here, David?
I'll just be safe. I'll say an ounce of silver.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a constant. It's the paper that depreciates. So
correct. Yep.
I'll leave it there. Well, Rob, I want to thank you for all that you did. Not an easy task putting together a conference, especially in the days of the illness. I thought it was well received. And I think it will be better next year. And hopefully, though, some of this stuff will be behind us. We'll be moving forward. But who knows? My crystal ball is a little foggy at the moment. Is there anything that you would like to say before we close out?
No, just thanks to, again, all the companies that came and supported this. There's media gifts that they will be receiving for this as well. And thanks to you and your colleagues. That was tremendous. And of course, anyone who came and visited lovely Coeur d'Alene. Visit. You don't need to move here. We're getting crowded, but it's a fine place, a fine hotel, and yeah, we're right here around a whole lot of silver. So next year it gets bigger and better, and I think your crystal ball will probably tell you that they're going to be paying significantly more for silver next year than they are this year.
Yeah, I think one came to mind. I think we should get people to get on your mailing list so that when the event is 3 or 4 months away next year, that you're able to contact people directly. Should they just go to the contact us feature on the CDA?
If you go to the top of the site, you can register for updates. So cdasilvershow.com, cdasilvershow.com. At the very top the page, you can register to keep in touch, and we'll let you know what we're doing. We're going to give away a lot more silver next year. There's going to be a lot of things happening. So yeah, you can right there register, stay in touch. And of course, stockpulse.com. If you want to do some due diligence on these miners and all these other companies that are publicly traded, stockpulse.com is where you can really do your research for free. It won't be free forever. There's a lot of filters, alerts, and tools on there to do some research. So David, just appreciate you again and your efforts. And this wouldn't have been possible without you. So thank you.
Well, it's always a team. It's never one, or seldom anyway. So thank you again. I will go ahead and sign off. I'll just say a couple of words. The metals are still in the doldrums. People are pretty not happy, let's say. Although, from a longer term perspective, as I said, I think on last week's silver weekly perspective, silver is, took 8 years to get above 20. We're still above 20. I think that wash out to 21.50 silver US dollars about a week ago was probably about it. Yes, we do have to rebuild, and yes, it is going higher, and yes, it's frustrating, and yes, all the other assets are higher than they were in 1980 except silver. And silver is just really underappreciated, and the big problem that I see is that it's just not well known. I think if people really knew the dynamics of silver and what the potential is, we'd have a lot more investment in it. But it's something you never hear of on the mainstream financial press in a positive way. The Wall Street Journal just did an update writing an article on silver, and it was, it was basically what you would expect from a mainstream publication like the Wall Street Journal. It basically was saying silver's not a good investment. Of course, it's very low in price, so that kind of puts up a question mark. But it's an industrial commodity, and since the recovery isn't as robust as we want it to be, and there's not really as much growth as we thought, why would you buy silver? Was basically my paraphrasing of the overall article. And nothing really bad, but certainly not anything to get people to understand that it's one of the best safe havens, especially in an inflationary or perhaps potentially hyperinflationary environment. If the Wall Street Journal had taken that slant on the article about what silver does in an inflation or a hyperinflationary environment and outperforms everything else in the past does not guarantee the future, it would be a very positive article, and you'd probably have a lot more interest in the silver market. But as it was written, it's sort of like, oh, silver, nah, oh, I was thinking about it, I'll take a pass. Well, here's what the Wall Street Journal had to say. So obviously I'm biased, but I have a different view on the financial markets than most of the mainstream, as anyone that follows my work knows. So I'll leave it there. This is David Morgan of themorganreport.com signing out with this week's Weekly Perspective.